His wife, Mary, was arrested at her home. Bushiri handed himself over at the Silverton police station. Our reporter Pule Letshwiti from ETV has the very latest on that. Pule, just tell us exactly what happened today with the Bushiris.
Well, a very good evening, Sally. And just with the latest news we've received right now is that the couple is expected to appear before the Pretoria Magistrate Court tomorrow on these charges. But what we know is that this relates to some of the investments, lucrative investments that were made to an investment account called real estate investment. So what's happening now is that subsequent to that, Bushiri's wife, Mary Bushiri, then handed herself over to the police station. And then we know that Prophet Bushiri then handed himself over with his lawyers to the Hawks. Just to correct that, Mary Bushiri's wife was arrested, but Bushiri handed himself over to the Hawks. But furthermore, this comes at a time where we do know that Bushiri was facing Prophet Mboro in court over what seemed to be a group of community members saying they were scammed while at his church in an investment commodity scheme, and therefore it comes as if there's more trouble brewing for Shepherd Bushiri at the moment.
Wow, so there's quite a lot going on, but I understand that he was arrested in 2019 on similar charges of fraud and money laundering. Is it the same case? Is there more? And what happened to the arrest in 2019? Did it just go nowhere?
Well, what we do know is that we've been informed that these cases are not the same. That still is ongoing. But furthermore, the Hawks are not disclosing as to what then happens next. They're saying that they will then get back to us in terms of the developments in this case. But we can also confirm that there's also been a third suspect who's handed herself over to the Hawks this evening, tallying it up to 5 suspects. The other 2 have already appeared, and therefore their case has been postponed to the 30th of this month, while we know the other 3 will be appearing tomorrow in court. But it seems as though, there's quite a lot that's been happening for the Prophet, though. And, what the Hawks is saying is that they're quite adamant that they have a very tight case here they're dealing with.
Right. So just the other couple you mentioned, that is Willa and Zeto Mudolo, and they have already appeared in court. How do they relate to Shepherd Bushiri? Are they part of the church?
Well, a very good question, Sally. But what we're receiving in terms of sources here is that these are 2 related business fellows who've been knowing each other for quite some time, and therefore there seems to be sort of an agreement in terms of what has been happening there in terms of business relations. And therefore this is how some of these things have been happening. And the Hawks are saying that they're actually trying to prove these charges of fraud, but furthermore money laundering happening through this real estate investment commodity. And they're saying that once then they had that sufficient evidence, they then decided to execute these arrests. But, Sally, there's quite that's been happening there. Therefore, in relation to this, we can also then see, like I've said earlier, trying to link the case that Prophet Shepherd Bushiri was allegedly implicated in about 2 weeks ago, where a couple of people had come forward saying, look, we had invested so much money in this investment commodity scheme. We were told we'd get funds back of about 50%, but that has not happened. And therefore, this is also raising eyebrows as to what has been happening around Prophet Bushiri's businesses and while also in church.
Lots of questions to answer. So Shepherd Bushiri and his wife due in court tomorrow. Are they behind bars tonight?
Yes, we can also confirm that they will be in custody until tomorrow's court appearance.
Thank you so much for bringing us that breaking news story. That is ETV News reporter Pule Letshwiti. Now,